Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today, we have something different. We are going to the court. Ndabajana mu rukiko. It's funny, but I will take you to the courtroom and we will study together the Judicial English. Tujye kwiga icyongereza cyo mu rukiko. Maybe you once went to the court. Ushobora kuba waragiye mu rukiko bakureze cyangwa se uregwa cyangwa se uca urubanza ari wowe. Maybe there is certainly something that made you go to the court. Cyangwa se bikaba binabaho ko ubona icyongereza hanze aha bari kuvuga nko kuri dosiye y'umuntu runaka wakoze icyaha ukabona amagambo yakoreshejwemo ntuyazi. That's why I want you to stay tuned to this lesson. We are going to start with today's word. It's called verdict. The verdict. Do you know what is a verdict? Verdict. Who knows that? A verdict is the final decision from the court. It's the final decision from the court, basing on the case that was there. Uyu ni umwanzuro wa nyuma w'urukiko mu gihe wenda hariho dosiye y'umuntu waregwaga kandi akaba yakoze icyaha runaka, wa mwanzuro wa nyuma niwo bita verdict. So what is the verdict from the case of the other person who was accused of stealing? Ese wa umwanzuro wa nyuma kuri wa muntu waregwaga kwiba ni nuwuhe? Nuwuhe wa umwanzuro wa nyuma? What was the verdict? That was the word of today. So let's keep going and see more words in relation to Judicial English. First of all, in the courtroom, we have many people there. Dufite abantu benshi bakora mu rukiko cyangwa se bafite aho bahuriye n'urukiko. Let's dive in. We have the judge. I think you know now, if you think of the Judicial English and the judge, these are related terms. If I say the judge is the person who leads to the conclusion, to the decision after having heard from all the sides in the court. Wa muntu utanga umwanzuro wa nyuma yamaze kumva impande zose mu rukiko niwe bita judge, umucamanza, niwe mucamanza nyirizina, the judge. You know that, I think, and if you didn't know that, it's our pleasure that you know it right now. The second person is a lawyer or an attorney. Lawyer or attorney. These are things that we are going to differentiate. We are going to differentiate a judge, a lawyer, and a prosecutor. A judge, tumaze kuvuga ko ari umucamanza. Now, what about a lawyer? A lawyer is the person who represents the person who is accused. He represents the person who is accused in the court. Ni wa muntu uhagararira uregwa cyangwa se umuburanira. They also sometimes call them an advocate. Wa muvugizi cyangwa se umwavoka nkuko tubyita. The advocate, the lawyer, the attorney. So, the judge will be there to listen to the both sides. That means from the prosecutor. The prosecutor is now the person standing, representing the government, trying to prove guilty the accused, ni umushinjacyaha. The prosecutor. This person is trying to prove guilty the accused person. Niwe ugerageza uburyo bwose kugira ngo ashinje cyangwa se yemeze wa muntu uregwa icyaha. They have brought someone to the court saying this one has done this. First of all, we have what we call an accused. Uregwa. The accused person is brought to the court. And then there will be a prosecutor. Hazaba hari umushinjacyaha avuga ati ingingo iyi n'iyi y'itegeko iri n'iri ivuga ko gukora iki n'iki bihanwa n'itegeko, none uyu yafashwe akora iki n'iki. This is the prosecutor. And on the side of the accused, ku ruhande rw'uregwa, there will be a lawyer. Hazaba hari umwavoka cyangwa se umwunganizi mu by'amategeko. He will be saying, this person did not do this. He will be trying to prove this person innocent. Azaba ari kugerageza uburyo bwose yamurenganura cyangwa se avuga ko arengana. So the two parties will be trying and the judge will be there to decide the final decision, which will be a verdict. The verdict now will be the final decision from the judge. Great. Now, the claimant is the person now who brings the case to the court. Wa muntu waje kurega noneho wazanye dossier mu rukiko. The claimant can be a person, like a civil person, ashobora kuba umuntu usanzwe, or maybe the police. You know that the police can arrest somebody and then they file the case. Polisi ishobora gufata umuntu hanyuma ikamukorera dossier ikayishyikiriza ubushinjacyaha. That's what it calls. The police will in that case be called the claimant. Bazaba nabo ari abazanye dossier mu rukiko. There will be also witness. The witness cyangwa se umutangabuhamya is the person who have seen or who have heard or who has known anything about the case. Ni umuntu wese ufite icyo yabonye cyangwa icyo yumvise cyangwa icyazi kijyanye na ya dossier yazanywe mu rukiko. This is great. Now, have you ever been one of these people? Have you ever been maybe the accused? Have you ever been accused of something? Tell us in the comment and tell us the experience from the court. Have you ever been a witness or something? Maybe you answer well one of the people here. So let's head off. When you get to the court, there are a lot of phrases that you will hear many times. Hari amagambo menshi, hari interuro nyinshi uzajya wumva nugera mu rukiko cyangwa se igihe uzaba wumva ibyavuye mu rukiko. We always see it on social media, seeing the people who have been accused of things. Turababona abarezwe, abarekuwe n'inkiko. That's what we are going to dive in here. The first, we say, he has been accused of theft. He has been accused. You can see it's related. Now, if someone is accused, turavuga ko ashinjwa. Arashinjwa ubusambo, theft. Arashinjwa ubujura. He is accused of theft. Or we say, the alleged was a fat man wearing a black sweater. The alleged was a black man, a fat black man wearing a black sweater. Uregwa cyangwa se uchekwa. The alleged. If someone is alleged, they are thinking, they are suspecting him of having done something, but they are not sure yet. Ni ukuvuga ngo uyu muntu uri alleged arakurikiranwaho cyangwa se arakekwaho, ntabwo birahamwa n'urukiko. He has not been accused yet. He has not been guilty. Do you get that? If someone is alleged, they are not yet guilty. So, she was convicted of the murder. This is now the opposite. Someone is alleged, of course, yarezwe cyangwa se ntekereza ko ari naho byavuye kurega, because to allege means kurega, kujyana case mu rukiko. So that if you say someone is alleged, yarezwe. But this case, someone is convicted, arahamwa, yahamwe n'icyaha. He has been found guilty. He has been convicted. She was convicted of the murder. Yahamwe n'ubwicanyi. Basanze ibimenyetso byose bimugwaho. That's why we say she was convicted of the murder. Have you ever been convicted of something? Yeah, we are all humans. We can commit mistakes. We can commit the sins. So that's why you can one day have been convicted of something. Now, there is a time that before they convict you of something, hari igihe kigera ubibona ko byarangiye, wakwemera utakwemera biri burangire bikugezeho ukavuga ngo narabikoze. That's one we say. That's when we say he pleaded guilty. To plead guilty. To plead guilty ni ukwemera icyaha. Ukavuga ngo narabikoze. I pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty even before they could investigate. Yemeye icyaha yewe na mbere yuko bakomeza iperereza. He pleaded guilty even before they could investigate. The next will be this. The accused man appealed for a review of the footage. The accused man appealed for a review of the footage. We have already seen who is accused. Uregwa yajuririye ko basubiramo amashusho. Basubiramo kureba amashusho. To appeal ni ukujurira mu gihe utanyuzwe n'umwanzuro w'urukiko. When you are not satisfied by the verdict from the court, you appeal for the review. Now, this one has appealed for the review of the footage. Basanze wenda amashusho ariho agaragara ko yakoze icyo cyaha, none yasabye ko ayo mashusho yasubirwamo bakongera bakayareba neza. Yajuriye. He has pleaded, or he has appealed for the review of the footage. Let's head to the end of this part, looking for more words that are used in the court. His trial has been adjourned. His trial has been adjourned. Here are two words, trial and to adjourn. Trial ni iburanishwa cyangwa si iburanisha. Then we say the very day that the judge and those people are going to sit down in the court and hear from the both parties and then decide finally. That's what we call the trial. Wa munsi bari buze kwicara bakavuga ngo urubanza nyirizina ruraba ryari. So when I say his trial has been adjourned, turavuga ngo urubanza rwe rwimuwe cyangwa se iburanishwa rye ryimuwe. To adjourn means to postpone, to get it to the other day. This is what it means. His trial has been adjourned. Because of some cases, the trials sometimes get adjourned. I am going to file this case in the High Court. I am going to file this case in the High Court. Iyi dosiye ngiye kuyishyikiriza ubushinjacyaha bukuru cyangwa se urukiko rukuru. That's what it means. The High Court means urukiko rukuru. Sometimes the judges are not going to decide about something. They feel like there is a lot to do with the case and they decide to file it to the higher court. Niyo mpamvu avuga ngo iyi dosiye, I'm going to file this case in the High Court. So, after having got to the verdict, after having decided, there are two things to happen in the court. When someone is found guilty, mu gihe umuntu yasanzwe ahamwa n'icyaha, there are two things to do. They are either charges or sentence. Charges or sentence. Ashobora gucibwa amande cyangwa se agakatirwa. There are two things. That's why we say you are charged with fraud. Waciwe amande bitewe na fraud. Fraud, you know that. Selling or buying or doing those things that are illegal to the country. That's what we call fraud. So you say you are charged with fraud. Being charged with something, being charged with a sin. Nukuvuga ngo uhabwa amande cyangwa se ucibwa amande bitewe n'ikintu runaka. Being charged with. So you can say he has been charged with murder, but in a lot of cases, murder can't lead to charges. Akenshi ubwicanyi ntabwo ari ikintu bacira amande, ahubwo it leads to sentence. Baragufunga rwose, baragukatira. Sentence. He has been sentenced by the court. He had been sentenced by the court. Yakatiwe n'urukiko. So, these are all the words relating to the court and the judicial English. Have you gained something new? Mbese hari ikintu gishya wigiye ahangaha? Share us in the comment section and tell us if there is something more you can tell us. And I will see you next time in the next lesson. See you. Hello everybody, welcome back to Pan Edutainment. This is another day, this is another chance for you to learn and grow in English. How are you doing today? Ndizera ko muri amahoro mwese. This is another day, we are going to study something very important with you today. We are going to describe sickness. There is a time that you always feel not fine, you feel under the weather. That's what we say. You don't feel well. you feel under the weather, hari igihe wumva rwose utameze neza ariko umuntu yakubaza ngo umeze ute, ntubone uburyo bwo kubibwira mu buryo bwiza bwo mu Cyongereza. Niyo mpamvu uyu munsi nshaka ko twiga uburyo bwiza bwo kuvuga indwara urwaye cyangwa se uko wiyumva. Ushobora kuba utarapimwe ariko hari uburyo wiyumva, there is a way you feel even if you have not been diagnosed with something, there is a way you feel. Now let's head up to the word of the day. Can you see this word and do you know what it is? The word is nausea. Nausea. Do you know this word? Nausea. This is a feeling of disgust, a feeling where you have an urge to vomit what you have eaten. Iki ni cyagihe wumva wabihiwe, wumva wenda nko kuruka. It's mostly a digestive word. Ni ijambo ahanini twavuga ko rijyanye n'imirire cyangwa se nuko umuntu yiyumva, ni bya bindi bita iseseme. Niba ariko mubyita namwe, tell me in the comment. Do you call that when you feel like you don't want to eat anything, you feel like everything is disgusting? Cyagihe wumva ibintu byose bibishye, wow, I can't even eat. You have what we call nausea. Repeat after me, nausea. Great. This is the word of the day, and it is also related to the lesson, which is all talking about sickness. Let's describe different sicknesses. How do you describe your digestive problems? Hari igihe umuntu afite ibibazo bijyanye n'igogora. How do you talk about those problems? Let's see these examples of phrases and expressions and try to use them in your real life conversations with other people. The first thing is, I don't feel like eating now. I don't feel like eating now. You know what? I don't feel like eating now. Ndumva ntashaka kurya. Yeah, this actually happens. There is a time when you feel like you don't want to eat anything. Maybe because of nausea, as we have just talked about it. Ushobora kuba ufite iseseme cyangwa wumva udashaka kurya, everything's not fine with you. You say, oh, I don't feel like eating now. This is the first phrase, the first word. Now we can also have this saying, I feel nauseous. I feel nauseous. This is of course when you have nausea and you say, oh, I feel nauseous. Whenever you try to eat something, you don't feel like you are appetized. You don't have any kind of appetite. You feel nauseous. This is what you say. Let's go to the next. You can say, I can't keep anything down. I can't keep anything down. Do you know what down? They are talking about your stomach. You can't keep anything down. This is when you eat something, or everything you try to eat doesn't stay there. You feel like you always want to get it out. Ni cya gihe urya ukumva n'ubundi baravuga ngo ntacyo ndi kurya ngo kiregame mu nda. That's what Rwandans say. Ntacyo ndi kurya ngo kiregame mu nda cyangwa se kigume mu nda. I just feel like everything can come out. Ndumva ikintu cyose ndiye kitaguma mu nda. I feel like not eating today. The same as this one. I'm constantly throwing up. Throwing up. This is another word for vomiting. Nirindi jambo umuntu yakoresha aho kuvuga ngo kuruka, ahubwo ngo ndumva nenda kubigarura. I feel like I'm constantly throwing up. Uko ndiye kose ndakagarura. This is now about digestive problems. Do you ever experience these digestive problems? Ndizera ko ntabwo mbikwifuriza ariko nawe bijya bikubaho ko ugira ibi bibazo. So these are the ways you can be talking about them. I don't feel like eating now. I feel nauseous. I can't keep anything down. Or I'm constantly throwing up. Do you get that? Take your time. You can pause the video and repeat the sentences to try to practice them in your daily life, daily conversation with your friends, talking about how you feel. Let's now head up to the next section, talking about sensory problems. Ushobora kugira ibibazo bijyanye n'ibyiyumviro byawe cyangwa se senses, your senses. We have different senses. We've got 5 senses, even though some claim to have 6. We have the sight, we have the hearing, we have the taste, and we have the touch. So we are going to look up to those senses and problems tugiye kureba ibibazo bijyanye n'ibyiyumviro. The first one, you can say, my ears feel full. Ushobora kuvuga ngo amatwi yanjye ndumva yazibye cyangwa se ndumva asa nkaho yuzuye. When you can't hear well, mu gihe utabasha kumva neza ukavuga ngo, oh, you know what, my ears feel full. Ndumva amatwi yanjye ntazi ibiyarimo. You can't hear well. Or you say, my vision is blurry. My vision is blurry. Nimo kuvuga ngo ndiho ndareba ibikezi. Ndi kureba ibikezi. That's a good Kinyarwanda for that. My vision is blurry. Iyo ureba neza ureba ukabona nturi kubona neza, like when you are dizzy, when you feel dizzy, nk'ifite isereri, you say, oh, what's that? I can't see well. Oh, my vision is a bit blurry. Ndabona ntareba neza, ni ibiki? Like you don't see well. You see, my vision is blurry. That's it. Now the next, you can say, my nose is blocked. Igihe utari guhumurirwa uravuga ngo ahari amazuru yanjye yafunganye. This may be because of flu or other kind of sicknesses. Ushobora kuba ufite grippe cyangwa se kwita flu, and you say, my nose is blocked. Amazuru yanjye yafunganye, ntabwo sindi guhumurirwa, I don't sense anything, I don't smell anything. You say, my nose is blocked. The next, what about taste? Have you ever had malaria? Wari warwara malaria? Did you have this feeling that everything tastes bitter or sour? Wari wagira igihe wumva ibintu byose bibishye, everything's bitter and sour. You say, oh, my mouth tastes bitter. Ndumva mu kanwa kanjye habishye. This is an expression when you don't feel, you can say you also have nausea, as we said, but the best way to say, you say, my mouth tastes bitter. Ndumva nabihiwe. Ndumva mu kanwa kanjye habishye. This is all about sensory problems. We can also have a lot of others. If you have another idea, please write in the comment. Ni gute kundi uvuga ibindi bibazo ufite bijyanye n'ibyiyumviro byawe. Let's now head to other things. Let's talk about breathing problems. Ufite ibibazo by'ubuhumekero. There are a lot of ways, kubera ko hari ibibazo byinshi by'ubuhumekero that nowadays abantu bafite indwara nyinshi, but they don't know how to talk about how they feel. Let's have like two things that are mainly used. Tureba nka bibiri hanyuma you will share us with others. The first thing is saying, I am suffocating. I am suffocating. Suffocating ni kwa kuvuga ngo ndumva nabuze umwuka. Ndumva ukamera nk'umuntu uri warohamye. I'm droning. It's like I'm droning. I'm suffocating. Wabuze umwuka, urumva utari guhumeka. It's like every door is closed. Urumva ahantu uri hameze nk'afungiranye hose. You say, I am suffocating. You know what? I am suffocating because I'm in a crowd of people and they can't allow me to breathe. Ndi mu bantu benshi cyane sindi guhumeka. I am suffocating. The next thing is saying, for example, his brother is choking. Choking. Choking ni cya gihe uriye nk'ibiryo bikanyura mu nzira itariyo. When you eat something and it goes the wrong way, you know, we have the digestive esophagus where the food goes through, and we also have the airway. Dufite inzira inyuramo ibiryo akaba n'inyuramo umwuka. So when sometimes the food goes the wrong way, we say, oh, I'm choking. Do you see that? This happens especially to children. Abana nibo bakunda choking cyane. You say now, his brother is choking. Maybe he's eating rice or something. Choking. Okay, you have a lot of other words you can use to express breathing problems. Share more in the comment section if you have them. Thank you very much. Let's head to the end of the video, but now looking at how we generally introduce or describe illnesses. Tujye kureba uburyo noneho bw'ingenzi cyangwa se uburyo bwo kuvugamo ko urwaye nyirizina. These were like symptoms, how twavugaga ibimenyetso, how you feel. You know what, I feel nauseous, I don't feel like eating, I'm suffocating. Ariko noneho tugiye kuvuga mu gihe uburwayi bwawe wenda ubuzi, how you say or how you know you describe your illness. First of all, you say, I have something. Diseases, we have different diseases. You say, I have malaria. You know what? I have tuberculosis. You know tuberculosis? Mfite igituntu, ndwaye igituntu, ndwaye malaria. Cyangwa se mu Kinyarwanda twakavuze ngo mfite malaria, ariko it's just saying ndwaye. In English we say, I have this. I have malaria. I have a cold. Mfite grippe cyangwa se mfite ibicurane. She has cold. She has a fever. Nuvuga ngo uri kuvuga noneho urabizi icyo urwaye utari kuvuga uko wiyumva gusa. You don't just say how you feel, you know what you have. You know what you're suffering from. So you have, I have this kind of illness. Start using that. The next thing is saying, I suffer from a kind of disease. Ndwara, indwara. This is when you're talking about something chronic. Yuri kuvuga ku ndwara wenda ihoraho cyangwa se ikunda kugaruka. You say, I suffer from this. Example, you say, when you say, I suffer from flu a lot of times, ndwara grippe igihe kinini cyane, you say, I suffer from it. When it is long term, igihe ari igihe kirekire bikunda kubaho. But when it is now, you say, I am suffering from this. I am suffering from malaria. I have this. These are different ways of saying that. Now, there is a time that a part of your body aches. Hari igihe igice cyawe runaka cy'umubiri kiba kikurya. Then this is what you want to say. My part of the body aches. This is, for example, saying, my stomach aches. Ndi kuribwa cyangwa se igifu kiri kundya. You can now put any part of the body in here. Like say, oh, my head aches. Umutwe urandya. Ache. Ache is a verb meaning pain. Ache ni kuvuga ngo ni ukuribwa cyangwa se if a certain body part aches. Iyo igice cy'umubiri kikurya uravuga ngo my eyes ache, for example. My amaso arimo arandya. Or you say, my eyes are itchy. Ndumva amaso yanjye, I feel like I can scratch. Ndumva nayashima. That's what we say. My back aches. You can complete this with every part of the body that you ache, that is aching. Ushobora kuzuza hano ukoresheje igice cy'umubiri cyose wumva ko kiri kukurya cyangwa se aho babara. My body part aches. My leg aches. My nose aches if it does. So, this is all about talking about how we feel, and we're going to conclude with this message. It's a relief message to you that are suffering from a disease or having a certain illness. Kuri wowe urwaye, I want to tell you this. Pain is present, not permanent. Uburibwe burahari uyu mwanya ariko ntabwo buzahoraho. So don't worry about being sick or ill. Pain is present, not permanent. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you next time. This is Teacher Gervais. Bye-bye. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pan Edutainment. Today, we have a very advanced lesson. Turi isomo ry'abantu bakuru uyu munsi mu rurimi bashaka kongera vocabulary yabo, bashaka kongera amagambo bakoresha, who don't always need to use the same words all the time. We will look up to idioms about health. We talked about health conditions in different ways, but today we have advanced idioms for people who need to have diversity in what they say. Let's get started without delaying. The first idiom is saying, I am as fit as a fiddle. As fit as a fiddle. This is an expression that means that you are very healthy, that you are strong, you are safe, you are fine, you don't have any problem. Ndakomeye mu Kinyarwanda baravuga ngo ndatanaze nk'umurya w'inanga if I know it well. But this is what it means. A fiddle is actually a violin. It's an instrument. It's a musical instrument that people play. It's a stringed musical instrument that you see that people playing that. The strings imirya yayo bikomeye cyane. That's why they say it is fiddle. it is as fit as a fiddle. Are you as fit as a fiddle? That means you're fine. Heading to the next one, saying I'm as healthy as a horse. I'm as healthy as a horse. All these are saying that I'm fine. Ndakomeye, ndamahoro, mfite ubuzima buzira umuze, meze nk'ifarashi. I don't know why they refer to a horse as saying something healthy, but it's an English expression, idiom, saying that you're very fine, as fit as a fiddle, as healthy as a horse. The two are almost the same. The third is saying, I'm as good as new. As good as new. That means, ndachaye murwembe. That's what they say in Kinyarwanda. I'm as good as new. Ndachari musha. Ndachari ndiwese. Ndachari wese. You see, when you wake up, for example, in the morning, Monday morning, even though some people feel a little dizzy on Monday, but many may feel as good as new. Hari igihe wumva rwose ubyutse ukumva umeze neza wuzuye imbaraga, full of beans, as some people say in that way. You can say, I'm in good shape. This is somehow physical, saying I'm in good shape. Uvuga ngo ndi muri forme, ndi meze neza bijyanye n'imbaraga z'umubiri, ndumva ntabyibushye cyane, ndumva ntari weak. It's like I'm just fit. I'm fit. I'm in good shape. Like sportives, the people who actually do sports would say this. I'm in good shape. Ndumva meze neza, ndi en forme. This is what we say. I'm back on my feet. Back on my feet. This is when you have not been feeling well and now you get better. Igihe wari umaze iminsi wumva utameze neza hanyuma ukongera kumera neza. Kuvuga ngo I'm back on my feet. I was actually sick the last week, but I now feel back on my feet. Ndumva noneho ndi guhagarara, ndumva nshinga. This is what you can say. I'm back on my feet. Have you ever been sick and felt back on your feet? This is what you say. The next thing to say here is saying that you are as fit as a butcher's dog. This is very funny and informal. It's an informal idiom. Idakunda gukoreshwa mu biganiro by'abantu biyubashye, ariko kuvuga ngo I'm as fit as a butcher's dog, ngo ndakomeye nk'imbwa the butcher, who is that? Umuntu ubaga niba atunze imbwa, urumva ko byanga bikunze niba baga akaba atunze n'imbwa, agenda yizanira wenda the bones, inyama. That dog is going to be fit. Now if you say I'm as fit as a butcher's dog, ndakomeye rwose nk'urutare, meze nk'imbwa y'umubazi cyangwa se y'ubaga, you are just fine. You have everything that you need. That's a good thing to say. It's an informal idiom, but you can use it in your real life conversation with your friends. These ones are saying that you're fine. Now, how about bad conditions? Saying that you're not fine. You can say, you know what? I'm at death's door. Death's door. This is very bad. Hano uravuga ngo ndi ku muryango w'urupfu neza neza. I'm almost dead. If someone is at death's door, they are very sick. Very sick. Sometimes people have started getting despair, saying, oh, this one will not get healed. Hari igihe umuntu arwara rwose ukabona ko ibyo byenda kurangira. You say, oh, this man is at death's door. One foot in the grave. Having one foot in the grave. Nundi, it's the same as this one. Ikirenge cyawe kimwe cyageze mu mva. It's like you're almost there. You have one foot on the grave. That means you're almost dying. I don't wish anyone to be almost dying, but it happens, and we have nothing to do about that. It happens in life. Some people fall sick and they get at the death's door. But even there, you can be healed. Nubwo waba ugeze kuri wa muryango w'urupfu, you can get healed from there. Having one foot in the grave doesn't mean that you have 2 feet in there. Kuba wamaze kugezayo ukuguru kumwe mu rupfu cyangwa mu mva doesn't mean that you have already died. You are still alive. Feeling blue is now saying, oh, you don't feel well. Kumva utameze neza. It's like saying, you know what, I feel under the weather. Ndumva ntameze neza. Like there is a time you have not realized your sickness, but you don't feel fine. Urumva ufite umunaniro, urumva ibintu byose bibishye, you feel not fine. You feel, oh, you know, I feel blue. Now, when you have been diagnosed with something, there are diseases that are cured only after surgeries. Hari igihe biba ngombwa ko ubagwa cyangwa se bagukorera operation runaka, nicyo gihe tuzavuga ngo you are under the knife. You are under the knife means you are undergoing a surgeon. A surgery. You are undergoing a surgery. We say you are undergoing a surgery. Urimo ugiye kubagwa cyangwa se uri hafi yo kubagwa. You say I'm under the knife. This is what we say. Very good. Now let's head to the next thing. It's saying I am sick. I'm as sick as a dog. Yeah, it's also funny and not polite though, but you can say it. You know what? Especially when you're talking to your friends, the people that you feel relaxed with, you say, I am as sick as a dog. I don't want to mention that in Kinyarwanda, but you get that. I am as sick as a dog. Now, there is something here which you can say when you're feeling very, very devastated, disgusted. You don't feel like alive. You feel like, oh, I'm a walking disaster. I'm a walking disaster. It's like, you don't know what you are up to. You know what? I feel like a walking disaster. Yeah, this happens. Sometimes you may feel not fine at all, and you feel like a walking disaster. Are you a walking disaster? I don't wish you to be like that. It's also saying, oh, I'm buried alive. Let's skip this. It's almost the same. Buried alive. Buried alive. Buried alive. It's like I'm a walking disaster. I'm a walking dead. It's something you can say. I'm a walking disaster. I'm barely alive. To finish, we can say I'm being all washed up, or I'm very washed up. I'm all washed up, which means I'm very exhausted. I'm tired. Like maybe after excessive sports or exercises, and you say, you know what, I'm all washed up. This is what we can say. Okay, these are idioms about health conditions. You can use them to increase your vocabulary and grow your language. Thank you very much. Take care of your bodies. See you next time for the next lesson. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Edutainment. This is your channel where you grow your language, your English speaking. I hope you're excited to see me again. My name is Gervais Nyogusa, and I think it's not my first time being on this channel. So today we are back with English learning. We want to grow our language. We want to grow our speaking and listening in every corner of language. Are you excited? Are you ready for that? Come on, come with me. Today we are going to keep growing our accent, the way we speak English. You have been learning English for years and you still think you are stuck. You don't grow. You don't speak well as you wish. But there are a lot of things you have to do. Today, I'll be breaking through some of the things so that you can go with me. Today, we are going to grow our accent with pronunciation. As you know, I like pronunciation a lot because I hope this can make significant changes for someone who wants to grow their language. That's why I would like to start today teaching you or reminding you some of the things that you still have to take care of. Do you really read the words with the sound S or the sound z. Take time and think about that. Look at the words here. Look at the first word, the second, the third, and all the words here. Take your time and say. Do you say, for example, this word? How do you say it? Because I know this word is very common. It's known. You always see it. You always say it. But it's your time to think. How do you say it? Basic. Do you really say basic? Because if you are saying basic, this is making you sound a little inconfident. But when you shout out and say basic, this is going to make you sound very well. Basic. This is s, not z. Basic, basically. And all other words that you see sounding like this, you know, we say Rwandan basic education, and you find yourself saying Rwandan basic education. That's okay though, but it doesn't make you sound very, very rich in English. So say basic, basically. The same to this word, intrinsic. Intrinsic. Those of you who are studying psychology and all those matters related to psychology, they tell you what is intrinsic motivation. Something intrinsic, it's something that is vested in you. Intrinsic, saying, I am intrinsically motivated. That means nothing else is pushing me to do what I do. I do it for myself. I'm intrinsically motivated. So say intrinsic, that sick, not zick. Because some people say intrinsic, which is good, but the best thing to say is intrinsic motivation, intrinsic. The same to these words here, write down. As you can see, these words are very known. There is nothing to explain about, but we still have to think of how we pronounce them, how we say them to sound very, very natural. How do you say? This is disagree, disagree. Please don't say disagree. This is, of course, understandable. If you say it, I will understand, but I will not think you are somehow developed. I will still think you still have a lot to do. So you better say disagree. The same to this word. Disappointed. Disappointed. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you will have to exaggerate the way you speak because you don't always have to sound very normal. People don't have to be used to your way of speaking. Sometimes you can change and exaggerate somehow. Don't always say disappointed, disappointed, disappointed. It's okay, we understand it, but disappointed, disappointed. This is great. If you say it and someone is listening to you, they will say, wow, wow. The same to this following word. What do you say? Disappear. Do you say it? So you are going to agree with me on these words that they have the s sound, not the z sound. This is going to make you very, very natural, sounding very natural. Disagree, disappointed, disappear. What about this word? This word is very, very common, but people pronounce it as disability, and it's okay, but I don't think it's very good. Instead, you should say disability, disability. That sounds very well in my ears, and of course, it sounds very well to everyone. Disability. They say disability is not inability. Do you know that proverb? Disability is not inability. You know that some people are disabled. They have physical disability, but that doesn't mean that they are not unable. They are able for a lot of things. That's why we say disability is not inability. So, dishonest, dishonest. If someone is not honest, if they are very, very dishonest, we say dishonest, of course. Don't say dishonest. Yeah, it sounds good, understandable, but dishonest, it's better. The last word on this category, we say disobedience. Disobedience. That means when someone cannot listen when someone cannot obey, when someone cannot comply with what the others tell them, we say they have this disobedience. They are disobedient. So don't say disobedience. It sounds understandable, but not natural. Great. I hope for this category of words, you are going to start improving. And I recommend taking some time repeating after me when I say a word, because sometimes we spend a lot of time listening without trying our best to speak out loud. So I would argue that you repeat after me if I say the word. Disagree. Great. Disappointed. Great. Disappear. Great. Disability. Great, that's good. Dishonest. Wow. Disobedience. Great. Now you can start improving your speaking. It doesn't always have to be the same person that people are listening to. You have to make changes so that if one day you talk to people, they hear a lot of transformation from your speaking, just because of those little changes that you have made without even changing the words that you use, just by changing the way you sound. Isn't that true? Great. Now, we are going on with the next category. The category of words that a lot of people don't care about. That they always think it's natural and easy to say, I hate you, I hate you. And they think it's easy, but if you hate someone, say it well. Though hating is not something I recommend. The A sound, please take time and refine your way of saying the word A or the sound A. It's very good when you sound A, not E. Some people neglect it and say like saying, I hate you, hate, make, lady, let. This is, of course, understandable, but if you want to refine and grow your accent, as I called it, you will grow it with me today. I hate this, I hate this. Make that understandable, make that clear. Hate. Not hate, but hate. I hate this. When you don't like something, you say, oh, I hate this. I hate this. Don't take a fake pair of shoes. Don't take a fake pair of shoes. You can go to the market and you see someone browsing in, trying to get a right pair of shoes, and you warn them by telling them, please, don't take a fake pair of shoes. Take fake. The way you sound when you pronounce these words makes you feel like you're natural. That's why I recommend you trying to take care of these words. The same to these, make, lady. If you greet people and tell them, ladies and gentlemen, don't just say, ladies and gentlemen. It's something that people understand, but it doesn't make you sound natural. Ladies and gentlemen, late. We are running late. Please, hurry up. We are running late. Cake. Cake. This is a word that people say often because of birthday parties. And they say, you know what? I'm going to grab a cake. But you hear a lot of people say, oh, go and bring me that cake. 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 So you better say, cake. Cake. It's no worries exaggerating your tongue and your mouth when you're speaking. Don't worry. The better thing is that you sound very well. Name. My name is. My name. These are very common things and very small things that you have to take care of. Same. The same. Here comes something very strong that people don't care about. The way you sound when you're talking about the days. Some people say Friday or Friday, Sunday, nzaza kukureba Sunday. And that has come and affect that has affected the way you sound in English. I want you to take care of this sound A in the day's names. So say Friday, Friday instead of Friday. Today, today. Let people hear that out. Pay. Will you pay me? Will you pay me? There is a man that I don't want to mention here who actually went viral of saying, when you have taken something, you have to pay. You have to pay. And people are just speaking that and saying, pay my money. But pay, you have to say it and it has to be clear. Pay. I will pay you on Sunday. Great. So, practice with me reading these sentences. I want you to take turns reading these words, these sentences. Did you read out loud? I will be late for the meeting. I'll be late for the meeting. Which day will you pay me? Which day will you pay? So I want you to start taking care of these small sounds. They are really small. People don't care about that, but you still have to do that if you want to sound very advanced. So let's head up to something more advanced, if I can say, that people don't even agree about. People don't agree on this, but we will have a turn looking at these sounds. The sound E and the sound E. There are two different sounds, but people tend to make them the same. People tend to confuse them. Yet, if you can differentiate them, you are going to sound very, 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 very well. This is what I say. Do you really know how to read these two words differently? Can you try? This is a short E, and this is a long E. It's prolonged. Even when you say it, you can see that your mouth actually delays, different from this one. So, slip and sleep. Slip, sleep. They are two different words that you have to take care of. This word is actually prohibited these days because it is used as a bad word, but actually which means a female dog. So how do you call a female dog? It's a bitch. Bitch. But people tend to confuse this word as this one, the place near the oceans and the lakes, where we call beach. I have gone to the beach. So the difference is bitch and beach. It's somehow confusing, but you still have to take care of that. And try, if you still struggle with that, you will notice that after realizing it, you will sound very natural and people will respect you of that. Bitch and beach. Rich, you've become rich. You have got a lot of money. You have got a lot of things. You say, I'm rich. I've got rich. But I will reach a certain area. You say, I will reach school late. I will reach home late. Rich, reach. Rich, reach. That is E and E. E and E. It's somehow different, but people tend to confuse that. So the thing is, sit and seat. I'm telling you to sit down. Sit. This is now a verb. It's an action to sit down. But this is a place where you sit. It is called a seat. I will tell you, please take your seat. And another person will tell you, please sit down. You will think they are two same things, but they are not the same. You will have to care those subtle differences. This is sit and seat. Sit down. Please sit down. Please take your seat. They are two different, but sometimes it requires you to exaggerate your mouth, as I have told you. Sit, seat. You can see it from my mouth and my teeth. The way I position my mouth makes a great difference. Sit is like relaxed. sit, seat, sit, sit. That's it. Ship and sheep. I'm going to take a ship going to somewhere. We know that ship is a tool or transport that people use in transport. So we say ship. But this is sheep. It's actually different. A hill. Hill. We say Rwanda is a country, is a land of 1,000 hills. Hills. A hill. But when you are sick, you pray to God to get healed. To get healed. You can climb a hill to get healed. You hear the difference? Hill, heal. Hill, heal. Those are the differences, but you still have to take care of them. The last one, which I recommend also taking time, trying to repeat. You can pause the video and try to practice. Maybe people think this is not different, but you still have to take your time and say, you can pause the video and continue again after having practiced. The last word in this category is hit and heat. You hit something or you hit someone. You hit someone with your arm or something. You kick someone, or let's say you punch someone. You say you hit. Is that hit or hit? Let's say I hit him on the face, and then you say there is too much heat in this house. These two sounds are very, very important for you if you want to sound very, very natural in English, and if you want to grow your accent, as we called it at the beginning. So thank you very much for today. I think this lesson has been very helpful. You can still re-watch this video if you want to grow. If you have hesitations, if you hesitate about something, don't hesitate to text us. Don't hesitate to write in the comment section what helped you in this video and what you maybe don't accept, because I know some of the people have debates about this, but still, if you agree with me, keep going, keep growing, keep improving your English. Thank you very much. I am Teacher Gervais. See you by the next lesson.